Good morning, friends. This is Daddy Day Trader with an update on President's Day. The market is closed, and I figured I would take a minute to give you all an update on how things were going with my trading. I'm still congested from our sickness, so we're not quite all the way healed yet, but you know, I feel pretty good. All the kids are feeling better, and we just kind of have this residual stuffiness that doesn't seem to want to quite go away yet. But I wanted to share my progress over the last 3 weeks and kind of go over what I've been up to since I had that bad day on January 30th, where I went down $205 and was sort of triggered and buying with more size than I should have, and it wasn't successful. So I kind of had a revelation at that point that I wanted to try different stocks that were moving slower and more I don't think predictable is the right word, but less violent swings in a 1 minute period of time. So I started trading the larger cap ones that were in the same sort of strategy. Like, look for the ones that are gapping up and focus on those during the day, and those can have moves. I never quite liked the idea of having to, if you want to make $100 a day on a large cap stock, you sort of have to put a lot of capital into that to do that. If you're trying to catch like a dollar swing on Tesla, you have to buy 100 shares, and that's a big chunk of change. So I'm still working through that, as I mentioned in my previous video. I mean, that's $20,000. So in a cash account, you can have one trade a day, or not even one trade every other day. So still working on that, but I think that might be the future for me. I'm going to do a end cap video of this, go over my stats in TraderView. Now, also, I am a little, because it was a good 3-week run I had, and I'm excited about it, and I've done really well. I am holding on to $180 of unrealized losses on 3 stocks. So, but I still have made more than that on my realized gains, so I'm still ahead overall from this new strategy. Now I understand, and makes me a little concerned that these last 3 weeks have been kind of like a crazy. Earnings have been really good for certain companies, and they've been, large cap stocks have been going up 20% in the day. So, I don't think that's necessarily something that always happens, but you have to be ready to take advantage of those times when it does. So you have to kind of get yourself in the groove of trading those large cap stocks and working through that. And then when they do go, be ready for it and capitalize on it, which I think is what I did this past couple of weeks. Was that just that same thing? And I was trading kind of a style that I haven't traded yet consistently, so which is the large cap stocks, kind of buying, no more than 20 shares total or whatever per lot, holding them a little longer. And I've been buying some large cap stocks that I feel are undervalued and waiting for them to go up, like UPS and Pfizer, some stocks that have been kind of beaten down that show kind of like a long-term trend of recovering and don't have systemic issues. So that's what I've been up to as of late. And I was kind of reflecting on, we watched the movie Dumb Money on Netflix, which is that Roaring Kitty, sort of. I guess it's kind of like a comedy almost, but it's supposed to be like sort of like a rehash of what happened with the GameStop fervor. And I was remembering back when I did, when that was going on, I had a Wells Fargo investment account. That's where I was at, and I had some money in there. And that was really the only. I think I might have had a Vanguard account too, but I had a Wells Fargo trading account. And their platform was just completely terrible. It was. I can't even imagine anyone using it. It's awful. I think the reason I had it was that with my Wells Fargo account, I got free trades at one point, or I got 20 free trades a year or something. So that's why I left it there. Anyways, it had the worst kind of charts and functionality, and you would trade on their website if you could. And I remember buying a pretty sizable chunk at GameStop when it was like at 290, and it went up 290 to 295. Then it went down again, and I sold out and lost some money on it. And it was just, I don't know. It was just kind of like, that was sort of like my first foray into day trading, I guess, and kind of what sparked my interest, and still kind of has my interest to this day. But it was a failed GameStop trade with bigger size and no risk management than I should have done on a platform that was completely outdated and worthless, which is the Wells Fargo platform. At that point, I mean, maybe it's changed and better now, but so then since then I've moved to Thinkorswim, which I feel is fine for me now, especially with the type of trading I'm doing right now, which is the large cap, and taking more time in trades. I don't have to even use my DOS Trader add-on anymore. So I don't have that right now. I turned that off because that was $120 a month. So now I'm just exclusively using Thinkorswim to do my trades, and that's been working totally fine. And I knew it would for the type of trading I'm doing. You don't necessarily need like hotkeys or profit targets or anything like that, because the trades are, they can be a minute maybe, but most of them have been half hour, 15, 20 minutes, whatever the case may be. You're kind of waiting for something to return back to where it was before, so, or whatever. Not instantaneous trades like I was doing in trying to cut it at 1%, because the stock is jumping around 15-20% at a time. And so anyways, I just when we watched Dumb Money the other night, I was reminiscing about how I was dumb money, basically, and still to some degree am dumb money. I'm still working on being smarter about my money, trading wise, and really like loving. I mean, I've been still loving it, like coming in at 5 in the morning and trading till 7:30, and then going to my other thing has been a little bit tiring, but also like sort of like curious if I'm going to lose like the passion I have for day trading at some point. As I've said in the past, I've never lost so many times and so much and kept doing something. Never been so bad at something for so long, but at the same time, like 5 years to be good at this is my plan. And I feel like if I can even make $30,000 a year day trading, then it's a win. So it's a complete win. And so I'm one solid year in now at this point, and have the same, maybe not quite as naive of a view of day trading as I had before, but the same kind of like passion that I brought initially to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny, and I don't know. I don't. Maybe I'm being. Maybe it's like a addiction. I'm not sure if I would call it that. But like, aren't people that have hobbies like addicted to their hobbies? I don't know. I don't want to call it an addiction because it's not. I think about it a lot. It can set me off, and it can kind of like make my day somewhat good or somewhat bad. Not as of late. The last like few weeks have been much better. Not getting triggered. not getting nearly as triggered with the different kind of trading. This the more like quote unquote day swing trading, not the 1 minute trading of the micro caps. It's been way better for my mental health, and it's been more satisfying, honestly, because I've been having more wins. Like I said, I'll show my thing in a minute, but my Trader View calendar of earnings. Um, I'm excited about that. And again, like this whole like people say it's gambling. You have an addiction, but like if you enjoy doing something and it's not having a bad impact on your life, then is it really a negative thing? Now, if I like blew up my whole account and lost all my money in like 2 days, then I'd say like that's a problem, absolutely. But that's not where I'm at or where I've been. And after sort of dabbling for the last 3 years and being serious 1 year, um, I'd say this is a hobby I want to build into a business. And in hobbies and in businesses, like there's startup costs and there's startup time, and I can quit today and take my money and go and put it into a VTSAX, and then what am I going to do then? Like, what's my plan moving forward to make the money in the way that I want to make it? Like, that's the problem, is there's nothing out there for me that I feel like. You could do real estate, but I don't like that. Real estate doesn't, I don't have a desire or a passion to go and buy rental properties and build a portfolio. I want to get in here and I want to day trade and I want to swing trade and I want to watch the market move. And I want to catch AI bear bull markets and Bitcoin bull markets and all sorts of craziness that occurs. It's fun. It's cool to see. And the social aspect of like what society is doing around it is super fascinating. And I don't find that in any rental property stuff. Although I know it's a wildly successful way to invest, but it's not for me. I mean, maybe if we had enough money at some point, we would buy rental properties, but we're not there yet, obviously. So, needless to say, this is my path. This is where I want to go. I don't want a 9 to 5 job for a corporation. I don't want to have to go into Zoom calls all day long. I want to be independent. I want to be my own boss. I don't want clients. Clients are the same thing as having a boss. And I want this to be all on me. Like, I don't want to depend on anyone else. I want to depend on myself and my family, and I want to build something. And I want to see my skills grow. Like, I'm excited to like take my trading from 10 shares to 1,000 shares at some point in the future, like down the line. See where that goes. Like, where's trading going to be in 5 years? Like, it's changed so much in the last 5 years to now. Like, where's it going to be in another 5 years? I don't know. And so I just want to continue working on it and, and keep going. And I know it's a long slog to become profitable. And it's hard to sometimes be like scrolling through Reddit and seeing all those subreddits that are just like so negative about day trading, and no one makes any money and it's so difficult. But I want to make money and I want to do it. And I think that I would be interested to see like how many people have been doing it for 5 years and still not making money. So I don't think people stick to it that long. It's just like you feel like you're on the cusp of success every day almost, and then something happens. And usually it's related to risk management. Like on Friday, I bought SMCI at $940, thinking it was going to go back up because like the last 2 months, the stock has always gone back up, but it didn't. This time it went down another $130. So I'm sitting on a negative 130 unrealized on SMCI with NVIDIA earnings coming up on Wednesday and wondering what's going to happen. So on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, I might just like cut it with that loss, which is fine. And then if NVIDIA crushes it, buy back in for the increase for it to go back up. Or if NVIDIA doesn't crush it, or it has mediocres and it's going to crash, then maybe I can short a share or something like that and make my money back that way. So we'll see. But I definitely didn't do risk management properly on that one share I bought at $940. I should have um, had a $20 stop loss on it, because that's how much I had made $30 on it, and then I lost 130. So unrealized, at least. Um, so, anyways, I'm excited to get back to it tomorrow. These holidays are hard just because you can't trade and you want to, and then this market's a little crazy. Like 2 weeks ago, we were in this massive like bull market, and then last week now we're headed back into a recession. Like the talking heads can't keep it straight, and that's just the way investing is. It's always going to be like that. It's like there's emotions involved, and people need news and business, and so they're just going to say whatever they're going to say. So you just got to follow the price action and have risk management. So, anyways, I'm gonna cut this off now, and I'm gonna load up my screen here, do a screen share, and talk about my last couple weeks of trading and what's been going on. And then, yeah, so stick around for that video. I'm gonna attach it to the end of this one, and hope everyone had a great President's Day weekend, and they're doing well and trading well. And I'll be right back. So, stay tuned. All right, we're back, and again, I wanted to share my P&L for February and kind of show you like what's been going on. So on January 30th, I had like that bad day where I was triggered and trading with size that I shouldn't have been trading with, which was 1,000 shares of $2 stock or whatever, but a volatile one. So that didn't end well for me, and I definitely like emotionally didn't take it well and got triggered. So I sort of had a reevaluation that day and decided I wanted to try something a little different. I feel like I've been working on those low floats for the last year and couldn't even get a one lucky one because I'd always cut it short, a big lucky one, and constantly feeling stressed and triggered in the morning doing trades, and always basically taking like, I'd say half a step forward and then like 4 steps back and eroding my capital. So I think a year is long enough on a particular strategy, at least with those types of stocks, to realize like maybe it's not for my temperament. And I don't know, maybe I'll go back to those. They are volatile. So, but we'll see. Anyways, so the last couple weeks I've been switched on my strategy. I've gone to like large caps, and also kind of I've done some swing trading on stocks I feel that are like undervalued, based on how much they've dropped and their PE and their long-term RSI and long-term MACD. And that's been going well too, buying like 10 shares of UPS, and it went from $139 to $148. So, if that's something that I can replicate and go bigger on, then there's something there. So that's the interesting kind of conundrum I'm in is, so I started on the 31st of January trading like large cap stocks. I don't know what I traded, but let's see. So that bank, New York bank, that got dropped like almost 75% from its 52-week high. Lost a little bit on Starbucks, and then traded coins. So, a little, bigger names. And then we go into February, and you can see kind of like what I haven't seen in a long time, which is a bunch of Green Day strung together, which I'm excited about because I haven't had that since, I don't know, a while ago. $3, $11, $2, $45, $28, $7, $15, and then $78, $5, $23, $82, $87. So like pretty solid. Like one of my things was to make $100 a day. Like that was like an almost not an end goal, but like, look at that. I mean, pretty cool. So that replaces like some of my income that I don't like working for. And trading with a $20,000 account, making $100 a day, that is a proof of concept that can be grown potentially. So almost 3 days last week, we're almost at $100. Now I again can appreciate where the market was at last week. It was pretty volatile for large cap stocks, and I don't think it's always like that. I know it's not always like that, so it's probably like too small of a sample size to really like depend on, but I mean, it's something. And I know if you stick around long enough in a certain area, you can capitalize on those moves. So, I mean, before that, it was Netflix, it was Facebook, it was, a couple other big names were making moves. So it's not like it's a completely isolated week. I know like there's been AI driven like news and whatnot. So, so all in all, I'd say I'm excited. I love the pace of this type of trading. It's way more chill. I don't get as much FOMO. I don't get triggered emotionally as nearly as much or at all. And my mental headspace is better. I can think about a trade and I can set up the stop losses quicker, more meaningfully instead of just a percentage drop, because I have more time to look at the stock and say, okay. And what I've been doing more of is I've got a spreadsheet that says like, how much are you willing to lose? Okay, $20. What's the stock at right now? $10. And you want to lose, and you think that a good resistance level is 18, so that's $2 or $8 is a good resistance point down. So that's $2 a share. So you can buy 10 shares of said stock. You put your stop loss at 8, and then you just let it go. And I like that. I've to some degree capped my downside with a stop loss. Now I know that won't trigger, before and after the market, but I mean, it's better than nothing. So then you just let it go and see what happens. I like that. I like that a lot. Now I didn't do that on SMCI, which is unfortunate because I should have, but moving forward, I think that's what I'm going to do. So set that stop loss, knowing that I can get back in, like, especially with these ones, like it's going to be easy to get back in when it's going back up again. So yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about it all. It's great. And as you can see, like a lot of green days strung together. And again, let's see, let's look at let's do this real quick here. We'll start on the 31st, we'll filter it, and then we'll go to detailed. Okay. So I'm sitting at 318 gain, and I have, let's see, my total unrealized loss is like 189 with like all the stocks I have open right now. 318 minus 189. So I'm really at total unrealized realized 130 during this period with stocks still in play. My number of winning trades is 88% versus my losing trades of 12%, which is really good, I feel. Average winning trades $5, losing trades $1.30. That's really good. Largest gain is 31. Largest loss is 493. Also really good. So, like, good stats. Even if I add in the ones I'm sitting on that are losers, I still think that these are great stats. Now, do these stats continue into the future as the market sort of cools down and changes? I don't know. We'll see. I want to be smarter about trading those like slower days as well. And I haven't really, what have I been doing as far as trading? I've been trading around like RSI and MACD on like the 5-minute chart, buying like kind of pullbacks on these ones that have gapped up, the large caps ones that have gapped up. And obviously I've noticed in the morning at around like 6:15, sometimes they'll sort of fade down. And then when the market opens, they were like going way down. and then they were springing back up like huge. So I was able to catch Trade Desk on Friday as it was swinging back up again, and I got a good trade on that and made $30. So that was cool. Let me look at my calendar here. So we look at Friday. So I guess I was just noticing a pattern of these gappers like dumping right in the middle, right at the market open, and then just like screaming up again. So yeah, $31 on Trade Desk. Like same thing on Coin. That one I traded, and then I did buy a couple of shares of like CPOP and HOLO, and those are kind of like those ones that were more volatile, smaller cap ones. And then as you can see, I did make initially I made $30 on SMCI or $28 on SMCI, and then I proceeded to it went down $140. So still down on that one, but we'll see what happens this week. So anyways, that's where things are at right now. I wanted to show my progress as far as like how things have been going this month, and really good for me in my trading and my mental headspace. And had some slip ups on Friday, but I would guess I got a little overconfident with like the way things were going, and like thinking like there's no way this is going to keep going down. So that's a silly mistake on my part. And yeah, things can go down. I mean, SMCI was on a tear, so it's funny that I would take that one freaking trade and it would be the time it would drop $200 a share. And that is why day trading is difficult. Like, why was I in it right then? It's crazy. Like, every single day for the last month, like 3 months, it's been screaming up, and then I trade that one day, it goes, and I catch a $140 loss. Well, that's risk management right there. I could have got out with profit, but I didn't. So that's something to think about. A good lesson learned. Again, I mean, I'm just learning lessons every single day, and I'm relearning the same lessons every single day too. So, all right. So back at it tomorrow. I don't know when my next video is going to be. Hopefully a little bit more consistent, but no promises. And, I just wanted to, again, kind of share what I was up to and how things were going, show you all these cool green days I had and how great that was to do and how excited I was about that. Realizing that, the whole market's been green. So, hey, let's see where we can go from here. Can we keep going green, or is it going to slow down, or what are we going to do? So we'll see. NVIDIA is supposed to be like the big one next week and could kind of determine the way the market is. So at least for next week. But all right, guys, this has been a Daddy Day Trader update, and I look forward to doing some more of these, and have a great trading week starting tomorrow. And we'll talk to you guys later. All right, take care.